Okay guys, so here is the Paludarium that I set up last year. It is in my friend's house and it has tons of water stains and algae. He's added a bunch more plants and these pots haven't really been working out super well. That one has, but these ones haven't because they're not, I mean, I guess he hasn't been watering them, so that's kind of a problem. And also the filter's making a bunch of noise and the lighting is kind of terrible in my opinion. I don't like how they set it up here, so I'm going to try to figure out something. So the plan is that it will be going on this kind of upper counter area here. So then it'll have those lights, so then we won't have to worry about that lighting as well. And it'll have a flat surface that it's actually good for it. So I want to do that, but the kind of issue is that since it has something on the back of it, since it has a background, then it's gonna kind of look crappy on the back, if that makes sense. I don't know if I can show you guys, but it's not exactly pretty, you know? So I might try to cover that up somehow in some way that looks decent, and then we're gonna put it up there because I'm worried about it, because the corners should be supported and they aren't supported, and I don't want the tank cracking. So yeah, but right now I'm just going to be cleaning it, moving around the plants, and changing out the rocks. I think that it would look better if the whole thing had river rocks like these rather than stuff like that. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to build it up to cover that that heater. Then over here I'm going to kind of build it up so it kind of, I don't know, you can't really see down in there, but it kind of like sticks out of the water in the corner. And then here I want to try to build it around the filter, not the sponge part, because apparently he changes that out, but the other part. And we'll kind of see how it goes. So I might switch out the gravel in the bottom. I haven't decided, but I think I'm going to try to change it to all like river rock like that. So I'm going to go get river rock. And then up here my plan is, there's this plastic in here. I'm gonna cut that out much better than I did before. And then what I think I'm gonna do is take, this one's pretty much fine, but you can't really see it, but this one's pretty much fine because water actually gets into it, as you can see there. Like it's kind of, there. It's kind of wet. Same with this one right here, but you can see these are not doing well at all because they just don't get water. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna fix that problem. Oh, what I was gonna do is put rocks in the front, so then the dirt is held by the rocks, and then I can add more dirt inside kind of, so then it won't fall into the water though. And then on top of the dirt, even on this one, I'm gonna add sand so that it doesn't look so out of place. So that's the plan. So first I'm just gonna try to clean off this with a razor blade. So I started off with taking all the rocks out and then putting all the plants in the bottom, cleaning stuff up like I said I would be doing. Okay guys, so right here I have I have sand. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wash this out because it was in the river and whatnot. And I'm going to, or the dry river or whatever. And I'm going to put sand. I just took the plastic part out. I'm gonna put sand in the bottom. Then I'm going to put dirt and plant something like a succulent, so then it doesn't really need watered, and then put this on top of it again. So I think that's my genius plan, and I'm gonna go wash this out, and then I'm gonna go put those poor dying plants in water so then they can, live again. I finished taking the plants out of the pot areas and cleaning the front, and then proceeded to plant the succulents into those pots, and also cut away all the plastic that was around the pots that were on the spider plants, because I actually left those in pots. I just cut out the plastic because obviously the plastic looked bad. Okay, so now I'm going to take all the rocks and the gravel out except there. I'm just going to take these two gravel things out and all the rocks, and then we're going to move it up there, and then I'm going to add this gravel and these rocks. And yeah, so I added the pothos plants. I didn't film that. And then you guys saw the succulents. So now I'm going to be taking the rocks out. Then I started to take out the gravel again. and out of the other side, and like I said, put all the plants into the smaller area, and then I started taking out all the rocks, like I said, and then a lot of detritus came up because my friend hasn't done very many water changes on this tank, which I'm hoping that'll change, and it'll be a little bit easier now that there is a finer gravel, because with the gravel that was there before, that's really big, like big enough that I would like crush the fish and stuff. But it's also kind of hard to do a water change with this tank because it's so small. It's kind of awkward, and as well it has little tiny fish in it, and as you can see, like when you turn the pump off, like it fills up the other side, so it's just kind of weird. And then here's it in progress, kind of. Okay guys, here is the finished 20-gallon Paludarium after I cleaned everything up, rescaped it, took out the gravel, put new gravel in. Let's see what else. Oh, also replanted the plants that were there, and also put like gravel around, added pothos plants as well. And here's what it looks like. So basically my phone kept running out of battery. I've been using my phone a lot, so that's why, like editing videos and stuff like that. So my phone didn't have battery, and I needed to finish it I need to get it done yesterday. So there was a couple of problems I needed to address. One was that the rocks that were in these two parts were kind of big, so you could see like detritus and stuff that was like piling up. So what I did is I added sand and then also smooth stone as well, or river rock, and kind of mixed it together, and I think that made it look really natural. And then also the stones, like the big stones that were in there, were also kind of unattractive in my opinion and covered in algae and everything. So what I did is I switched them all out for river rock and then replanted all the plants, and I think it turned out really nice. And I also hid the heater back there, and I kind of hid the filter, but I didn't want to hide it too much just in case my friend had to do any like maintenance on it or anything. I didn't want him to have to like take everything out on top of it. And I think it turned out a lot better. I did build up these rocks, but I didn't take it out of the water like I said I might. I just didn't I didn't want to add that many rocks because I don't want to take away too much of the amount of water in this tank. Then what I did is, one of the other problems were there's 4 pots. There's that one up there, and then there's these 3. Now, 2 of the pots get water from this tank. The one up there, as you can see, the plants are growing really well. And then the one right there, as you can see, the plant isn't doing amazing, but it's nice and green. And it is a spider plant. And what I did there is these 2 obviously were way too facing out, like this way, which is kind of, it's our fault when we made it last year, and it's been kind of annoying. So one of the problems is these 2 didn't get water anyway. I'm not sure how those 2 get water. I guess it kind of leaks in, but that's fine because spider plants can grow straight out of water, and as you can see, they're growing really well. So those 2 pots weren't getting water, and it was really hard to water them because they're in these like containers, and the containers had dirt in them obviously for the plants. And whenever you'd water them, since they're facing this way so much, the dirt would just spill into the aquarium, and obviously we didn't want that because this wasn't like good dirt or anything. I mean, it had like wood and different stuff in it that's not necessarily good for the fish. So what I did is in these 2 down here, I actually super glued 2 rocks, as you can see, that one and that one, and also the ones around it, so then it keeps in the dirt. And then what I did is I took out the plastic pots that were in there, and because you could kind of see like it was coming away from the silicone, it looked bad. So I took them out, and then I added gravel in the bottom of where the foam outlines of where the pots were, and I put gravel in the bottom. Then I put dirt, planted succulents, so then it doesn't really matter if they get watered all the time. And then put gravel on top of that, like this sand stuff. And I put sand on top of all of them. This one, this one, this one, and this one, to kind of make it blend in more than the dirt was. And then I also added gravel up there and there, so then it again kind of blends in everything and makes it look more like it's on the side of a river. than before when it just kind of looked bad. And then, like I said, I added the pothos plants, and these two up here I stuck through a piece of wood, so they're not actually planted in the pot up there. They are just in the water because that's how the pothos plants will grow. And then this one is wrapped around this piece of wood down here into the water. And as you can see, all the fish are doing really well. And I think the water change was good for them, and we didn't harm them any by doing it and adding in new water or anything. And I think they're doing really well. And then I added some air plants as well. So you see succulent, then spider plant, and then succulent again. And then up here, there's a bunch of spider plants and an air plant. Okay, one last thing is that the filter obviously doesn't look great, but again, if there's any maintenance that you have to do, then I didn't really want to obstruct them from doing that. And as you can see, there's like this green thing over where the filter sucks in water to then send it over into this, and then it, you know, falls down. That's how this works. So it has the that filter thing, and what we did is we went out and got black sponge to cover the filter so then it doesn't have to have that. And the reason it has that is because these guppies breed, and obviously baby guppies are really small. So what I'm going to be doing today is we have two of these blocks. We got them from Petco, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to cut one. Does right there look good? Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Let's see if it seems to cut. There we go. So I cut it like that, and then I'm going to, I guess, how are you doing to do it? My friend's cutting it real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to be adding it on. After he cut it, so there's like a hole there. And I'm sure you can like buy like certain things that are made for this, but we're not doing that, I guess. So I'm gonna take this off, and it shouldn't be a problem. I think there's only like 2 guppies in this chamber at the moment. So I'm going to be taking this off of the filter and then adding this part on. And then it should be good there. And then you can also do this with like hang-on back filters if you do have like babies or something like that, and you're scared, or small fish that you're scared they're gonna get sucked up. And then this is, in this case, it's actually used as the filtration because this is just a pump, not necessarily a filter. And it got murky there because I took the sponge off, but it'll clear up pretty quickly and it should be just fine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below. And if you want more content, then subscribe. Have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in the next video.